Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am going to share with you a book that I just received yesterday. Coming to America, a selection of short stories. If you are a book lover and you like to listen to the book, read it on the paperback or on Kindle, I will put a link in this description and you can use it. As for audio book, it will be available in July or August. I'm working with a professional narrator. So right now it's available on paperback and Kindle on Amazon. So if, like I say, if you are a book lover and you want to know more about immigrant life, about the Vietnam refugees, immigrants, then I suggest that you check this book out. It has many valuable lessons that you can learn from. And if you are a second generation of Vietnamese who don't know how to read Vietnamese, this is the book for you. Because with reading this book, you would understand more about your ancestor, about your parents, your brothers, older brother or sister who came to America by boat or even by airplane, but it's a difficult life. When you start a new life in a new country, knowing nothing, then it is very difficult, especially the language. English was very hard for me to talk. I find it very difficult, and it took me many years to feel comfortable speaking my mind without having any difficulty. But it took a long time. So like I say, if you are a second generation of Vietnamese and want to know more about your ancestor, please check this book out. Okay, so today I am going to share with you, in this video, I'm going to share with you a few excerpts from this book. We have a total of 11 writers. We have 17 stories here. Some are shorter than others, but these stories something is great story to learn from the first generation of immigrants. So I'm gonna share with you this story as from my journey to America. And let me see. In the aftermath of South Vietnam, in April of 1975, many Vietnamese people chose to escape the brutality of the new communist region for the freedom of other lands. I was no exception. With 3 prior failed attempts to learn from, I was tempered as forged still in my resolve to accomplish this goal. There's a saying, 3rd time's a charm. For me, it was the 4th. In 1989, by virtue of sheer determination, I was finally able to leave Vietnam by sea. So this author, 4 times, on her 4th time, she was able to leave the Vietnam. That's crazy. 4 times. And throughout our ordeal, the constant motion had caused the hull to leak severely, which in turn required the need for perpetual bailing by hand. We knew our boat was coming apart and would not survive much longer. Oh no, we sighed. As the motor died again, the mechanic did his best, but it was hopeless. Now we were down to 1 functioning engine. The warm air and the light wind were now our only saving grace. And this is a story, it's also a story of my journey to America. I left Vietnam on a dilapidated, overcrowded boat when I was 14, leaving every bit of my life behind and unaware of any consequences. I left knowing it was all or nothing. My journey was filled with obstacles, hardships, and blessings in disguise that I will never forget. On the fourth day, at about 11 a.m., the captain spotted a small dot on the horizon and excitedly exclaimed that it was an American ship. We were ecstatic. We waited for hours, but it turned out to be a pirate fishing boat. They were disguised as fishermen. They wore underwear and no shirt. They held empty buckets, baseball caps, hammers, knives, and guns. We were too weak to defend ourselves, as we had many children, women, and aged people on the boat. They spoke Thai and charged onto our boat. They attacked the men and screamed at everyone. They asked us to sit down and put our hands on our head. They searched for money, valuable things, and threw everything to the sea, including what was left on our food and water. It was like a war zone. No one was able to help anyone else, but only to follow their orders. The pirates ordered us to jump onto their fishing boats so they could search our boat thoroughly. We thought that we would encounter pirates just this one time, but every time one pirate ship left, another one came. We were attacked and robbed by different pirates more than 10 times. They threatened to kill us if we disobeyed. That's crazy. That is so crazy. And on this one is a story of a struggling student, college student. There were many times when I came home from restaurant feeling so overwhelmed with fatigue, and my whole body was so sore, but I had to keep my eyes open to study and prepare for school the next day. A few weeks after the school started, I still did not have the money to buy a calculus book. So I had to borrow the book from a friend to make copies. One day after work, I asked the restaurant owner why I had been working for more than 2 weeks and still did not get paid. I told him the reason I asked was because I needed the money to buy a calculus book. The owner did not even bother saying a word. He just opened the cashier and threw a $50 bill onto the counter. I tried to restrain my anger and accepted the money. The same calculus book that I used that money to buy, I have still kept it until now. After he left the restaurant, he worked for another one. This is a Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant. It was one night that I will never forget. While I was finishing up cleaning the floor, I was rushing to go home because I wanted to prepare for final exam on the next day. Suddenly, I slipped and fell. Unfortunately, my right hand landed inside the boiling oil pot, where it was used to cook the chicken. Perhaps the pain from the burn was so substantial that I did not feel the crucial pain. That was instead scared as I watched the emergency crew cut away the skin where it was peeled off from my hand, piece by piece, just like a crispy chicken skin that I saw every day. The only thing that I was worried about at the time was how I could hold the pencil to do the final test the next day with all the bandage wrapped around my hand. On the day of graduation, I stepped onto the stage to receive my diploma in the music celebration. I broke down in tears. It was the first time during my student life that I cried. They were joyful tears because I realized that finally I achieved my educational goal. This is the story of my life. Thus, I gave it the title, My Life. I hope that whoever reads this will find my insight useful for his or her life. We will strive for the better in the mainstream of America, and we are always in search for excellence in this land of opportunity and the land of free. So there are many stories, 17 stories, 17 difficult hardship stories of first-time immigrants, first-generation immigrant in America. We escaped country. We worked so hard to get here. That's why all of us are very grateful to this country, the United States of America. Most of us are now successful business owners, working for the corporate world, and we give back to society. And as writers, Vietnamese writers, we write because we want to make a history for the future generation, for my children, my grandchildren, or great-grandchildren. Maybe 50 years from now, 100 years from now, maybe they will still find this book in a library, maybe in a bookstore, or online, to read it and understand what we go through. So I take pride as one of the writers in this book. I'm very happy that we finally make it. This is our second book. The first one was in Vietnamese. This one we decided to write in English because we want to write not just for us, but for our younger generation and many generations to go. So I thank you for spending your time listening and watching me. I hope that this passage, this excerpt will inspire you to go and click on the link to get the book yourself. All right, so thank you for your time. If you actually watched to the end of this video, just send me a comment that you watched to the end of the video. I appreciate that. And if you like what you see, click like and subscribe for more videos. I make different videos. I like to share my knowledge in Medicare Advantage, Medi-Cal, health insurance, life insurance, in writing, in publishing. I will dedicate my time on cooking, but that will be in a different channel. I want to just do that on one channel, and cooking with Crystal H. I will do that maybe in a few months. I'll publish one cooking recipe a week. That's my goal in a few months. And I do also have a Vietnamese channel, just reading Vietnamese story, narrating. That's what I love to do. So if you are Vietnamese and you like to listen to that, then look me up nhà văn Như Ý. Okay, all right. Thank you, and I'll see you on my next video. Take care and be blessed. Bye bye now.